The USS Lexington, CVT-16. She was commissioned in 1943 and would become the Navy's flagship for the fast carrier task forces during World War II. The Lex would see 35 major battles in the Pacific before the war's end. But VJ Day didn't mean the end of the Lexington's career. Her mission became even more important: to train future naval aviators. More takeoffs and landings have been made on the decks of the USS Lexington than any other aircraft carrier. But the Blue Ghost, like all old war horses, was destined to be put out to pasture. The Navy Department issued orders for the Lexington's decommissioning, and she was to go through another battle, though this time there would be no guns blazing and no attacks by enemy planes. This battle would be fought in the Pentagon and in the war rooms of city halls in 4 U.S. cities: Quincy, Massachusetts, Pensacola, Florida, Mobile, Alabama, and Corpus Christi, Texas. The first step was to put together a task force.
I told this task force from day one that we were going to be conservative. We were going to, if we did this, it was going to have to be something that would not cost the taxpayers of Corpus Christi or South Texas a dime.
The task force was facing a monumental challenge: how to convince the Navy that Corpus Christi should be the Lexington's permanent home. Washington, D.C. wasn't to be the only battlefront. The task force had to convince the residents of Corpus Christi that the USS Lexington would be a valuable asset to the city's booming tourist market and to pay for keeping the Lex ship-shape.
The marketing of it, I thought, was pretty much going to do it itself, which it did to a certain extent. I think the only anti-thing we had in town was some people were concerned about the scale, the size of the ship. We didn't know at first where we were going to put it. I mean, there were 4 or 5 different locations we were kind of looking at. But I figured once we could just kind of be in a Navy town and we could engender, a seed of some kind of positive success to this effort, that the city would embrace it.
We had no idea. We had no experience with ship attractions. We didn't know if it would work. We didn't know how much it would cost to maintain the ship.
There were several options to go to for, we could sell more bonds, but I think it was important that businesses in the community had a part in it as well. And that's why it was easy for me to go to 10 local banks and ask them to participate in a $1 million loan.
Not surprisingly, the people of Corpus Christi endorsed the idea, and support came from some unexpected sources.
I went to Frank Smith Jr., he owns Channel 6, KRIS-TV, and I went to him and said, here's the deal. We've got this opportunity to get this big ship. We have no money, we have no marketing funds. We need your station behind us. The Cole Park event, which was, I believe, in late spring, early summer, was designed to kick off the public information campaign, the pledge drive. The idea was to get people to pledge money over a 5-year period of time, and then we could match that money, and that would be a part of the financial package that we were going to sell the Navy on.
In late August of 1991, the task force took its battle plan to the Pentagon. The task force members came home cautiously optimistic that they had put together a winning plan to successfully argue for the right to berth the Lexington at Corpus Christi. The Navy Secretary was to have made a decision by October of 1991, but the announcement was delayed. But after many anxious months of waiting, the news was finally released in January 1992.
I have selected Corpus Christi, Texas.